I just want to acknowledge most of you drove some distance to get here, but some people came a little bit further, and I wanted to acknowledge them tonight. So if I ask if you're here from such and such a place, please raise your hand and shout out. If you're here from Tunisia, North Africa. If you're here from Poland. If you're here from New York City. And let's see if you're here from New Orleans. Arizona. Colorado. And San Diego.
Eugene.
Thank you everybody for coming.
Eugene.
Oh, yeah, if you drove up from Albany on the 5 and didn't think you were going to get here today. So I asked my wife how long I could talk, and she said you can talk as long as you want. So there goes. As the father of the bride, some of you know Molly and some of you know Bobby, and I know a little bit about Bobby and a lot about Molly, and so I just want to introduce him a little bit to you and tell a little story to you because it just means so much to me. So Molly, you heard about Molly a little bit from Bob tonight. Molly is a woman of great empathy, and if you're a friend of Molly's and you're hurting, she hurts with you, and if you're having a good time, she's enjoying it too. So Molly, everybody's having a great time. And then I want to expand on the story that Bob told at the wedding ceremony. So once, I think Molly was home from college, and I love telling this story, but Molly was home from college, and we both found ourselves down at the breakfast table enjoying a hearty bowl of cereal. Molly had a large book, and I had the Sunday comics. And I happened to look up, and Molly was busy reading this book, and I said, Molly, what do you got going there? And she said, well, she looked at me and said, Dad, I'm reading Les Miserables, Victor Hugo's book. And I was busy reading the funnies, and I just kind of looked at her and thought, well, that's pretty ambitious. And then she looked up at me again and just very unpretentiously said, yeah, Dad, I liked it a lot. I read it a couple other times, but this time I'm reading it in French, and I really like it. That's Molly. And as a father, I knew at that time I don't have to worry about Molly. Bobby, I've come to know, when you have a whirlwind romance and the guy's only been around a little while, you don't get to know him that much. But that's not the case here. Bobby, if you and Molly are thinking about children, you better start talking about it tonight. So, Bobby, I just want to tell you, Bobby is like, I just want to tell you, he's the nicest guy. And one of the things, I just share this from my heart. Bobby and Molly have driven down to our house a million times, and they usually get off work, they get on the 5, and they fight traffic, and they arrive at our house about 11 o'clock, and Bobby invariably has a smile on his face and a warm greeting, and I've never seen the guy upset. And I mean that. He's just a wonderful person. And I will also say that, if you don't know, Bobby and Molly are quite competitive. Do not play board games with these people. Particularly a board game called Planet Steam. And then the last thing I just want to share with you about Bobby, I don't know if you noticed, but he's a New Orleans Saints fan. I think he's wearing that cap around here. I've never seen anybody so happy as this last Christmas when he opened the package from Molly, hand put together, one piece, fleece, snuggly pajamas with New Orleans Saints logos all over it. I didn't think he'd ever stop smiling. So, before I give a toast, I have some advice for the bride and groom. This is my advice from my heart. So my advice comes from the Bible, and it's Matthew 5 and even 7. And in Matthew 5, Jesus takes this group of people up on the mount, and he talks to them. And the people were amazed because he talked with authority, and he told them how to be kingdom people and what it means to be workers in the kingdom of God. And as he finished that discourse, he told them, therefore, if any of you hear my words and apply them in your life, you're like a man who builds his house on the rock. And the winds will come, and the rivers will rise, and the rains will come down, but your house will stand firm. And that's my counsel to you. Be people of the kingdom, and the house of Hodgin Petersen will stand strong. Will join me in a toast to Mrs. Molly Petersen and Bobby Hodge. Mr. Bobby Hodge, congratulations. Happiness starts now.
Good job, Lenny. I'm from CNN.